their paid friend, their paid wife, their paid lover. That's what I want to talk about. I want to get some things off my chest. So let's see if anybody knows what I'm talking about. So I was watching a documentary on Allen Iverson. In this Allen Iverson documentary, part of what he said was, I want to thank the guys who were around me and who are not around me anymore, because you show me who not to have around me. And I thought about paid friends. And I thought about how many athletes, rappers, entertainers, big money investors who get the wealth and become lonely. How many people struggle with survivor's remorse to the point that they got a friend who has no ambition, no value, doesn't even know how to take the initiative to step up and say, I am going to make myself useful to the person who is making the money. No. So they come in and they tag and they hang around and they become paid friends. So let me give you an example of how this process works, right? So an individual has a certain talent or the insight to take advantage of an opportunity that presents itself. He or she gains a certain level of wealth. While they gain a certain level of wealth, this is the important part. It's the important part. They have never been the rendition of themselves before. So they do not know who they will become, how they will act, or what to do in that rendition of themselves. So they don't know when they had zero, they didn't know who they were going to be with 100,000. When they had 100,000, they didn't know who they were going to be with 1,000,000. When they get 1,000,000, they don't know who they're going to be with 10 million, on and on and on and so on and so forth. So when they had zero, they hung with, attracted, or had relationship with people who are zero. Let me give you an example. In my generation was someone named MC Hammer. MC Hammer put out pop rap songs that went multi-platinum around the world, and he took most of his neighborhood and gave them jobs. He had the biggest entourage in entertainment history. He had maybe 100 people on his payroll, getting on planes, getting on buses to do shows. So many people that they didn't know what job everybody had, but he had the ability to give everybody $1,000 every time he did a show. 100 people, $100,000. He was making millions. So he kept this up for years. And then when his money started dying out and his jewelry was going missing, because this is how it works. The individual that's talented starts making some money. He or she does not realize that the people, when he had zero, he has to leave them on zero until they demonstrate their talent. And through their talent, they lay down an idea, a proposal, a plan, or a structure that will make them both more money. If the person does not bring that, especially your mother, especially your daddy, especially the missing daddies that show up when you start making some money. If the person doesn't realize, I have to leave y'all where y'all at. Call me what you want to call me. Name me what you want to name me. Slander my name all you want. But I have to protect myself and make sure I'm good before I'm trying to save everyone else. So now, this individual who has a talent, gift, or opportunity, he or she starts making some money, like a college football player. His friend is on the sideline, never did nothing. The problem I have is these guys that have nothing are not smart enough to say, I'm going to make your life easier as your friend. I recognize that you are the one that makes the money. So what I am going to do as your friend is I am going to make sure you're cleaning, your clothes that you need is clean, all the chores you need is done, your cars are washed, or yes, I will be your butler or your manservant or whatever name or title you want to put it on. At the end of the day, I'm your brother who has your back, and recognize that you are the individual that's making the money, and you're giving me the opportunity to be in the circles of greater opportunity. The crazy part is paid friends will just sit back and do nothing and want the same thing that the talent has. The talent has diamond chains on, the paid friend wants diamond chains. And what's even worse, if you come from the slums where you heard of people losing their life for $2,000, $3,000, and your chain is $60,000, and your watch is $300,000, and your car is $100,000, now your paid friend says, I'm your bodyguard and security. If anybody try to take this, I'm going to prove to you. And now y'all sitting up like Lil Durk, like, who's this kid that just beat the kid? Young Thug. You sitting up in a prison cell, a multi-millionaire, because your friend wants to do murders. Your friend, your paid friend, wants to protect all your items, and now you're responsible for his murder or his violence. And the individual who has the talent is merely just saying, I'm looking out for my people. But the problem with this, and I hope somebody could put in the comments that they were a paid friend or a paid lover, because I'm going to get to the lover next, to explain to me, because I'm stuck. I'm stuck, and I'm triggered, and I'm bothered by individuals that can live on people's couches, spare rooms, or where I live in their the pool house for years. For years. You're a grown man. If you need cigarettes, your sister is buying them for you. If you need gas in your car, your brother is sending you money for the gas. Part of your daily and weekly routine is getting on the phone to beg someone. You don't DoorDash, you don't Uber, you don't get out with a cup at the highway. You just lay on the couch. You have no alarm clock. You have no superiors to answer to. You have no boss. You have no employee evaluations. You have no W-2, W-9s, no nothing. But you always have clothes. You always have food. You always have shelter. And you have transportation and gas in the car. If the car breaks, whoever owns the car gets it fixed for you to drive around. You are a paid relative, you are a paid friend, or you are a paid lover who lacks integrity, honor, loyalty to yourself, and you lack love of yourself. Or maybe I got it wrong. That's what I got on here tonight, hoping someone would say to me, no, Zach, you're the idiot who gets up and go to work grumbling every morning that you working for somebody else. You're the idiot that's paying taxes. You're the idiot that's not getting all of the time and you're trading time for money. You the bozo. I'm waiting for somebody that's a paid friend to tell me, look how good I got it. I get to get up when I want, hang out. I got the best clothes on my back. And all I got to do is kiss this man's ass. All I got to do is laugh at jokes that's not funny. So anybody who is striving to be ambitious, because every time the lottery gets up to $1 billion, I have these conversations with people who say, oh, I'm just going to take care of my family. And I say, oh, you intend on making some dependents. And then it turns into a conversation where I ask them, who does your family members become when you become a millionaire? And who do they become when you elevate their lives? I experienced this. You elevate their lives to a standard that they're not even accustomed to. So when they need food, or they need curtains, or the washing machine is broke, or something is due, the landscapers need to get paid, they calling you because you put them in that position. If you give them cash, they blow through the cash and call you. If you leave money in their house and say, hold that money for me, they help themselves to it. If you're doing something illegal and you leave $212,000 in the house, in the basement, in the chest, and you in jail, the phone gets cut off. You can't find them. They probably in Kansas somewhere, or Arkansas, or Memphis, or someplace you don't even go or even thought of going. Because you got to trust somebody, right? Yeah. If you trust your lawyers and your accountants, they run off with your money too. And so this feeling of vulnerability, of constant unknowing, say, oh, it's easier to just pay my childhood friend. It's easy to just pay my brother. How much you make at your job? I make $50,000 a year. Okay, it's $1,000 a week. The talent says I make on average $100,000 a week, $50,000 a week. I could give my brother one or two or whatever. And then that brother will have the audacity to have a paid friend who will be his personal flunky. And now you got an entourage. Because you, as a paid guy, as a talent that's rich, you're going to attract other guys that's rich who has an entourage. The next thing you know, it's 10 of y'all. And then it grows and grows and grows and grows and grows, and you're under one principle, one mindset. You're like a little mini gang going on. So be mindful, ladies and gentlemen, who are interested in having wealth, who feels that they can look out for everybody. Now, let's go to the paid lover. There's so many of y'all sleeping with the enemy right now. There's so many of y'all married to the enemy. They don't even love you. They just love what you do. You have a woman. Let me give you a real life example. Man meets a woman online. Man gets fascinated by that woman. That fascination turns into an intrigue. They find out they have so much in common. Their conversations are stimulating. They find out that they love to talk to each other. They can talk to each other for hours. They like the same music. They like the same food. They like the same drinks. They like the same social. They have the same aspirations. Many of the same desires. Man. So they turn it into a romantic situation. And from the gate, every time they go out, the man does everything he feels a gentleman is supposed to do. Because let's not forget, being in love is someone who has convinced themselves that the stimulation they feel is a lifelong commitment to someone else based on what they have convinced themselves of. So now, this man pays all the food, does all the gentleman things, holds all the doors. Any occurrences come up, he takes care of it. She needs some clothes. He buys her things. He romances her, takes her on trips, go to different hotels, fills the house with roses. He does everything super romantic. What would make her say, hey, stop? I know you really like me, and you talking like you want to make me your wife, but I really don't like you like that. You're not the guy that I really see myself spending the rest of my life with. But since no one else is taking me serious, and you're head over heels, and you make me feel safe, and you ease my financial burdens because you paying some bills, I'll let you tell yourself whatever you need to tell yourself, but I'm never going to show you above and beyond and put myself on a limb, on my finances on a limb, on my time on a limb, on my defer my dreams for you. And now, what happens when this individual, Deontay Wilder, he's like, man, I made hundreds of millions. I gave this girl everything she wanted. Whatever she asked for, I said, baby, it's yours. Here. But the minute the money stopped rolling in, I saw a whole different woman. So paid lover, the one who takes and takes and takes. How do you rationalize this? Because I keep just saying people are on survival mode. And being on survival mode allows there to be no rules, boundaries, code of ethics, morals, principles, honor or integrity, or even loyalty. Definitely ain't no love there. You in survival mode, you got a sucker that's coming along that's feeling you. And women don't realize that men's mental health is attached to how much sex they have. If they're a heterosexual, vibrant man, give that man right sex, more sex, or even sexual attention, that man is walking out the house a different person. You deny that man, play games with that man, refuse that man. If one part of your body is not working, you don't offer another part of your body to that man, you're not concerned about pleasing that man. You're only concerned about how long are you going to continue to benefit until the gig is up. So as a paid lover, and you deadbeat, low-life guys that, baby boy, where you drive her car, you live in her house, she pays for your cell phone, you get up, smoke blunts all day, drive her car around, run errands, show the world acting like you somebody big, that you pushing cars, it's all somebody else's expense. She pays all the bills. All she asking for is somebody that she can rely on to love her and not abuse her, to protect her, bring her peace, bring her pleasure, elevate her life and her circumstances. And you low-life pieces of shit can't even do that right. So you a paid lover, especially when it's wintertime. Woo! Right now up north, all kind of couples is linking up together. And you women is really thinking he loves you. No, he loves the heat in your house. And you men are thinking, I found the one. No, you found the one for this season. When spring come and summer come, if she got a body together, God forbid you pay for her body to get done. And you just met her. You took your income tax, your 401k, your inheritance to make sure her body is done so she can attract someone else that she feel is more profitable. I just want to know. I want somebody to give me some insight on these paid friends, because many people will run across making a lot of money really fast, and they will not realize how to identify these people. So if they watch this video and they pay attention to this video, they will recognize the steps that they need to take. So here's the steps without getting too technical. Aside from creating a trust, which every individual that's worth over $100,000 is mandatory that you create a trust and put all your assets in the trust and the rules, regulations, and the code of conduct of that trust. That's number one. Number two, if you have the talent that makes all the money, I beg you to take the time out, even if you got to go on a vacation by yourself. I did it and it was very revealing. I didn't have to go. I shouldn't have went, but it was very revealing anyway. When you go and you can be your own best company and you can learn how to be within yourself, you will get a magic power of attracting people who want to come into your life for the right reasons. I know you want to celebrate. You want to say, look, I made this money. I want to go celebrate. I want to buy these jewelries. And I'm the same way. I keep telling myself, I don't need no jewelries. I walked into David Yurman this weekend and was like, whoa, I want $28,000 on my wrist. I understand the culture, social media, influencers speak to you. You want to celebrate. You want to share the world. But before you do any of that, you have to know wants, needs, priorities, what's important, and how do I take care of me? How do I be at peace with me? And how do I make me my own greatest company so I don't have to pay someone else to be my company? When you master that, and when you master what this book right here tells you, the art of saying no, not an explanation, not just denying people, but when somebody say, hey man, can I get, and you say no. And you watch them, well, fuck you then, and you with your little punk it, they didn't care about you. They cared about what you can do for them. So this public service announcement on this live is simply this. Be mindful of the people your success attracts. Be mindful of the barnacles that's trying to attach themselves to your vessel and slow you down. I would love to have spoken with someone who is a lowlife, someone who is a convenient prostitute at home, someone who is a wife who takes advantage of the man who loves her and does nothing in return, a guy who smokes blunts all day and drives his girl's car and always on his cell phone that she pays for. So I could just not be judgmental, because I don't think it's a judgment. I think it's an observation. There's a difference. So be mindful of paid friends. Be mindful of paid lovers who don't reciprocate. That's the number one key right there. How do I know if I'm being taken advantage of by the person that I'm giving money to? Simple. They never reciprocate. They never give you the same energy that you're giving them. They never shower you with love, affection, and gifts. They just take and disrespect and disregard your wishes, your desires, and your demands. That's how you know that they don't really like you. They just like what you do.